Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans.
Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air. Stand by.
Now, here's JP.
All right, it's Friday. I'm jumping and ready to go, man. After a big day yesterday of nonstop talking, we are here and ready, raring to go. And what a show we have for you today. This is the show of the people, Timmy. This is the show of the people. IndyCarTim, our Dallas affiliate, who joins me each and every day. This is where we're gonna get down to some brass tacks with Ken Babby, the CEO of the Rays, coming on here in just a few minutes. He'll join us at 10:05. At 10:30, multiple gold medalists, Brooke Bennett will join us to talk about completing an Ironman triathlon, which is absolutely insane. You know how long that is, Timmy? You know what that is?
A triathlon? That's 1,000 miles.
It may as well be, right?
Might as well be 1,000 miles.
That's what is it? 26-mile swim, a 26-mile run, the marathon, 110 bike, I believe, and a 2-mile swim.
2-mile swim. Yep.
Not in your life in the same day. That's
in the same life. In the same life.
Consecutively. Yeah.
No.
So for a 3-time gold medalist, what is that all about? So we'll talk to
nothing
Brooke
for
Bennett.
her.
And Chris Mack will join us, the new USF basketball coach who's putting together a fantastic team. Again, I'm very excited about the new era that he is about to bring to USF basketball. So, and that just the momentum just continues over there at USF, especially since the great CEO has come aboard there, Rob Higgins. So they had a big tour of the stadium this week. I was not able to attend that. My apologies, Rob, but they are cooking over there on Fowler Avenue. So lots of great things going on in Tampa Bay, not the least of which was a huge vote yesterday, 4-3 on the MOU, the non-binding MOU, which I spoke to yesterday in council chambers. Appreciate them giving me the opportunity to do so, as did many of the Petermans, by the way. And absolutely, you guys are killing it. So many of you yesterday, Palermo, Alejandro, James, Nick, so many guys jumped up there and talked in support of the Rays. We really appreciate you guys pumping out there, and your voices are being heard big time, not only by the organization, but by the city as a whole. And we really appreciate what you guys are doing. And without further ado, let's bring in our leader, our true leader, the CEO of the Rays, Mr. Ken Babby, who I got to tell you, Ken, yesterday, I don't know if you were ever a relief pitcher in your day, but when you came out of the bullpen late in the game to answer some pretty interesting questions, some very good ones too, and the way you handled that, my man, you are a star and the most patient human being on the planet. How are you?
I don't think anybody's ever said I'm patient. I'll let my wife know that you said that. I appreciate that. Look, this is a process, guys. You gotta keep your cool through it. JP, I thought you did a fantastic job yesterday, and
thank you.
Having so many of the Petermans there in full force every time we've done this. And by the way, we'll give them the weekend off to watch some baseball, but we're going to need to get them right back in there.
Cannot wait for this series.
Anybody that watched this yesterday knows we still have a lot of work ahead of us, but appreciate the kind words. It was fun being in there in a situation.
So, my read on it yesterday was it was a tough day. It was like a back and forth, baseball game where each side keeps answering. And I think a lot of people, on social media left there thinking, wow, this is not good. But I kind of came away with a couple things. Number one, you got the yes vote, which opens up the state funding, right? A no vote would have been devastating. So that's first and foremost. That's a huge win, right?
Yes, no doubt. I mean, go back and look at the week for a second, and it's really amazing if you think about in the last 48 hours what has transpired. First, we saw, a county commission meeting with, some folks on that board that obviously we've spent a lot of time with. The public has wondered sort of where they were going to fall on this. And even though it was still non-binding, you saw some very strong statements from from the various commissioners, and start to get some intelligence in terms of, where they may or may not be on this deal. And so I think that was a very encouraging 5-2 start to the week. Then we we hopped in the car, grabbed a quick lunch, and went over to Hillsborough College. And they've been phenomenal partners. Dr. Atwater, the entire board, Mike Garcia. I mean, the whole crew at Hillsborough College has been really the best partner you could possibly ask for. Remember, months ago, they voted in favor of a unanimous MOU with the Rays. And this week we entered into a ground lease that was also unanimously approved. So, that was sort of day one. We always knew city council was going to be a big lift. And we were so appreciative of the overwhelming and gracious support we got from so many fans and the Petermans, your whole crew,
thanks for everybody, the pizza, by the way.
Absolutely.
Eddie and Sam's is
the least we could
fantastic.
do. Listen, by the way, we had to get the Eddie and Sam's in there because we love Eddie and Sam's.
Yes.
I know Patrick's listening to the show, by the way. He says hello and
hey, Patrick.
And says thank you. It was great to see you at the ballpark the other night too. Bill Cosgrove loves you. The whole group, JP. I mean, you've been here since the beginning, and it just we couldn't be doing this without you and your group. But look, yesterday,
my honor. It's my honor to do this. I've been on this for my entire sports life here, and it's because it's the right thing. And I love you guys tremendously, but I was doing this long before you got here. I was waiting for you guys to come along because I knew you would. I knew you would because it's too good of an opportunity. And here you are, and we're this close. So fantastic.
It's not about us. It's about the Tampa Bay Rays.
Exactly.
It's about the region.
Exactly.
Look, Tampa Bay, and it deserves Major League Baseball, deserves a world-class facility. Our fans deserve it. The community deserves it. And look, it's so interesting. Yesterday's conversation is a great reminder. We were having a conversation at City Council yesterday about $80 million. $80 million out of a $2.3 billion ballpark. Again, I got into some of the percentages yesterday. We don't have to rehash it here, but this should be a no-brainer for these elected officials. Clearly, yesterday shows we still have some work to do. You can never take for granted any elected official's position. We respect it. I said it yesterday. We've got work to do with the Drew Park CRA. I had a long conversation with the Drew Park board chair after the meeting. We've already set up plans to get together for coffee next week. We've got to want and listen and understand the needs and concerns of the entire community to get this deal done. But rest assured, we're going to do everything we possibly can, continue to be able to get this done. And we still have got a lot of work ahead of us, JP.
Yeah, you mentioned the intelligence you're getting, and that's what I got from this yesterday. That back and forth kind of gave you a blueprint, right, for what maybe Maniscalco wants, what his concerns are, what maybe what Carlson wants. We know Miranda and Hurtak are just going to be no's, but there are others that are in play here. What can you tell me about what you learned yesterday that maybe the Rays can work on to get their objections overcome?
Yeah, I wouldn't permanently record anybody's position. I think there's probably one council member we know for sure that is not going to support it, and we'll leave that to we'll leave that to you to determine. But listen, I think this is a process where you've got to meet and understand the needs of all the council members. There's 7 of them on city council. You don't go into a sporting event and just assume you're going to lose a quarter or half or not play defense or not. You never concede anything in sports, and so I feel the same way about this political process. Let's take a minute and talk about Councilman Bill Carlson and the debt of gratitude that we owe him as Tampa Bay Rays fans and as community members. What he did in the 9th inning and with 2 outs in yesterday's meeting was truly incredible because look, he told Patrick and I, earlier in the day, he was going to be a no. And we've developed a great relationship with Councilman Carlson. He's a super guy. And by stepping out and realizing that, and I said it on the stand yesterday, I said, please don't vote baseball out of Tampa Bay. Right. And when he stood up in that moment and said, a no vote here is going to set all this in the wrong direction. And while he has his own, beliefs and look, we understand and may not agree with, but we listen to everybody's beliefs. When it really mattered with 2 outs in the 9th inning at the end of a nearly 6.5-hour meeting, he said, I'm going to vote yes. And he deserves an incredible, folks should tweet him, email him, thank him. He deserves it. You know, he's in his own mayoral
saved it.
race coming up. He
Yep.
kept baseball going, and we're we're going to keep the dialogue, of course, going with him and every council member. But he deserves an enormous amount of credit.
I agreed, because that was dramatic. That was dramatic. I mean, did you think at that moment that the game was over? You'd lost?
No, I don't operate that way. Look, it
Right.
was interesting. I was closing the rings on my Apple Watch, kept going up and down and being pulled back and forth. Every time I sat down, I felt like I was getting called back up. But look, I think that's the process, and you've got to respect. I welcome the opportunity to answer these questions. In fact, as we kept getting called back, I was grateful for it, honestly, JP, because you want the opportunity to tell a council member like Council Member Maniscalco. He asked about concessions, and I talked about how we moved away from a bondable CIT model and went to a pay-go at the city's request. How we agreed to a backstop component of the CIT. How we increased multiple times by over $100 million the investment amount that this Rays ownership group is going to make into this building. You know, paying $1.2 billion privately as an ownership group into this building, and what that means. And so I think the other key learning yesterday, which I think we have to understand, is these council members, they want to be part of the process. Now they can't be in the negotiating room. They can't be in the the back of the house or the restaurant as the meal is being made. You know, you can't have 45 people in there, and our negotiating group from the city and county is already, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. But I think we need to do a better job, and by we, I mean the Rays, the city staff, to be working alongside those council members so they at least understand that there were a lot of concessions made by the Rays for the last 6 months. And I could see it in the council member's face. It was the first time I think he was hearing, that we'd moved to a pay-go, that we'd agreed to backstop, that we agreed to all the cost overruns, that we'd increased our investment amount. And that's just the beginning of those concessions. And so for listeners out there,
how do they not know that? I mean,
members,
that's out in the public. I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but how do they not know that? That's in the public domain, and we talk about it all the time on this show.
Well, look, the council members they've got a lot ahead of them. The Tampa Bay Rays are all we're working on right now, but they've got a lot on their plates, and we're respectful to that. You could see they've got a lot on their agenda. So I don't fault them. I think it's on all of us to make sure that before we head back into that chamber, each council member, each commissioner needs to really understand the merits of this deal and what's gone into the sausage making, if you will. We will do that work, and we'll do a better job of it.
No, I was just doing a hit for an Orlando TV station this morning, and they were asking me, and where do I really feel this is right now with all the negativity out there? And I said, I've never been more positive about it, frankly, because we're ticking off things one as we go. There's a lot of issues, no question about it. But what I see is two parties that want to get it done. Right.
That's right.
You guys have agreed to a lot of different stuff, and will continue to get it done. This $80 million, I don't think we're going to lose the deal for $80 million, which is 1% of the total investment of it. So I think there are other ways. The point is, you've got two groups that trust each other now, right? That can now come together and build something beautiful. And I get the sense that that's still there, right? That's still there.
Yeah, that's absolutely still there. Look, we've worked long and hard with the county and the city and their staff to get to this point, and we're committed to doing the work together. Now, look, I'm also a realist. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. And I think, as we head into the definitive documents portion of this movie, if you will, there's still a lot of issues that need to be resolved for both sides. I actually thought at the county meeting, if folks want to go over their Memorial Day weekend and dig in and look at this stuff, the county put up a very instructive slide on remaining issues. And I'm sure you can pull that publicly and share it. It was very accurate. It got into, CapEx and, remaining questions about, how funds were going to be reinvested back into the district, back into the ballpark over time. And that was one of several issues that we've both jointly said publicly still needs to be resolved. And these are critical issues, to be able to make a deal like this work in this era. Nobody in the country is building, an arena, ballpark, or stadium without having a public plan for reinvestment, as these buildings are expensive to operate. And the Rays are putting, over, $1.2 billion into the building. We've got to have a plan to resolve that. And so, I actually really appreciated Bonnie Wise, our county administrator. By the way, her birthday was yesterday. So if she's listening in, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bonnie.
To our county administrator. She's working long and hard to get this done. But I will tell you, I really appreciated that she put out in the public that there's still a lot of work to be done on these definitive documents, because we want to be transparent. We have been in our public meetings and will continue to be.
You mentioned you got a text from Rob Manfred yesterday. What is your sense of baseball's patience with this? Because as we all know, and I know this is a tough question for you.
Yeah, no, sure.
You are committed to Tampa Bay. You don't want to go anywhere else. You're going to have to be forced out of here. I totally get that. But there are other places that are willing and able and throwing money at Major League Baseball to get a team, where you guys could go make a hell of a lot more money than you're going to get here in public money. You have those options. Major League Baseball has those options. Where do you think their patience level is right now?
Yeah, I think if you look at it from the lens of the league and the commissioner's office, I think it's a helpful lens to look at. They've been patiently waiting for a solution on what's going to happen with this franchise, for nearly 20 years, just like Rays fans, just like you. And I certainly didn't grow up in Tampa, although what I was proudest to say of anything yesterday at City Council was my name and that I'm a resident of Tampa, Florida. And,
Nice.
Our family picked up and moved there because we believe that we can be successful as a community in carrying forth this vision. But, we're going to need to see compromise. We're going to need to see a deal here that works for the Rays, works for the county, and is a fair public-private partnership. Now, from the league's perspective, JP, and the commissioner put it best. I read his direct comments yesterday at City Council. But, we are in the late innings of a long ball game that we've been in with Tampa Bay. And I think the commissioner and Major League Baseball needs to know that there's a resolution coming in. And look, we all know there are other options for this franchise. I think he has stated it. The governor of Florida has stated it. Our ownership group has stated it. But we've also said, that we're in an exclusivity period here with Tampa. We felt like when we bought this team, we owed it. We are the Tampa Bay Rays. We owed it to this community to see if a deal was possible. And I think you can hold us to our word that we are doing that. If yesterday's
Absolutely.
City Council meeting and County Commission wasn't a better example of that, I don't know what is. So we're here. We're at the table. We're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to get this done. But, if we can't, then we'll have to have a much harder conversation with the community. And I know the commissioner feels the same way.
Well, before you go, and I know you got lots to get to, thank you for your time. I just want to publicly apologize for the way some of the elected officials treated you and your team there yesterday. I think it's disgraceful to speak to a CEO of a Major League Baseball team that's bringing $10 billion of private investment into your county and your city. And to be that disrespectful, I think is a shame. And elected officials should know better. There's elected officials posting things that are middle school worthy. That is an embarrassment from people that I've lived here for 30 years. I'm embarrassed the way you guys have been treated in a lot of different ways. And I appreciate your patience and your willingness to put up with this shiz and keep going forward. And to all of your partners there, most of, I would say 80% of the people in this county and city are for this deal. When they understand what you guys are putting in and understand the deal, they're overwhelmingly passionate about it. You saw that yesterday in the public speeches. I think it was about 80% positive. So
wow. Thank you, JP. I mean, look, we don't envy the position of these public officials. They're caught often in difficult places. There's no room in this process for nastiness. You'll never see that from our organization.
Nope.
I can assure you that. But I learned long ago, and I've been doing this a long time and in a lot of different communities before I got to Tampa, that you've got to take the high road and you've got to represent the fact that we are, an organization that's doing a lot of good to make Tampa a better place to be. And, as I say proudly, we come to work every day with Tampa Bay across, the heart of our uniform as our players do on the field. And we do so with a tremendous sense of pride for this community. And so, you're not just like a player who may get booed or, hear an occasional comment that hurts. You've got to hold your head high in the public domain. And, Rays fans should know we're committed to seeing this through, and an honor to be here doing it.
Well, you're a superstar to get this done, man, and I just marvel at your ability and your energy and your positiveness your positivity is unbelievable.
We have a great partnership group. I'm honored to do it alongside them, and an even better fan base. I mean, we are truly fortunate to be stewards of this great franchise. That's why our group bought the team, and still a lot of work to do, but honored to be here and doing this work. And JP, again, we couldn't do this without you. So thanks for having us, and great Memorial Day weekend. And
you going to New York?
I'm in New York. Let's get it done.
Awesome.
I'm excited to get to the Bronx tonight, and let's hand it to them.
That's going to be awesome. By the way, Mr. Cosgrove told me the story of how you guys met. That's an awesome story. That is I'm this documentary, and I'm doing it on the stadium, and the whole damn thing is going to be so freaking good. It is going to be my life's epitaph, man, and it's going to be fantastic because we're going to get this done, and we're going to cut that ribbon, and we're going to be there at 29, and it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened in this community. Thanks, partner.
It's worth doing. Talk to you soon, JP. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
Go Rays. Go Rays. Absolutely. Wow, man. I'm just I'm emotional. I'm verklempt. That the baseball
show are going fast. Lock up your favorite single game tickets now and get the best seats before they're gone. Call Ticketmaster today.
Hit show. God, Ticketmaster was still in, but they were just starting to go, man. Yeah, we've gone from that to this. This is big boy stuff, man. This is big boy stuff. I get emotional about this because we're so close to finally doing baseball right, man. And it's going to be, and it's not just about baseball. It is so much about the community and the people, the bartender that was there yesterday that had all the signatures of her coworkers, man. These are the ham and eggers, man. These are the people that make Tampa go, and they need jobs. At this time, more than ever, Palermo said yesterday, 12,000 brick and mortar jobs in a time when AI is destroying jobs. I mean, this means so much to these people. It is their life. It is their life. And you want to vote against a non-binding MOU? My Lord.
By the way, JP, I've got the name of your documentary when you do it.
May God have mercy on your soul.
He literally tweeted out yesterday, and I don't want to say these words.
I saw it.
Ken Babby is crying over like a crying baby. An elected official that is talking about the biggest expenditure in the history of the county and the city. Without question, and this is not just about baseball. This is about taking your city and your county into another stratosphere in terms of where you are in the world, in terms of your city and the events that come to your city and the amount of the economy of your city, which is maybe the most important thing you do. And you're making middle school references on social media about the CEO of the Major League Baseball team. You should be immediately impeached, Joshua Wostall. That you're representing Hillsborough. There are people around the nation who said, this thing ain't ever going to pass. Look at this jackass. You're an embarrassment. And I'd say the same thing. Listen, I've known Charlie Miranda for a long time. Yesterday, you were an embarrassment to the city of Tampa. An embarrassment. I don't use computers. I put sticky notes up because I don't want to see the computer. It's 2026. You're a councilman making one of the biggest votes in the history of this city. And you say, I got my friend to do an AI thing, and you handed it out. How unserious are you? That's the amount of work you're putting into this?
He probably still uses a percolator to make coffee.
Get out his protractor. I mean, it's an embarrassment And as Christopher Palermo said, you're not fit to sit on the council. If you don't know how to work a computer, sorry. There should be basic requirements for councilmen, and one of them should be, you got to work a computer. This is a very complex issue, and clearly you don't understand it. You're clueless. And then you want to disrespect Mr. Babby to his face in that when he is doing nothing but trying to improve your city. For the stadium alone, it's $2.3 billion that's going to be spent within your city limits, as Christopher Palermo said so eloquently yesterday. And Mr. Clendenin, the chair, $80 million of a CIT fund, which is a 0.5 cent tax to your people. They won't even feel it. And you're going to send baseball away, the Rays, and all the good that this is going to do for that? Like you're somehow protecting the taxpayer? You're an embarrassment. And people, you sit on that council representing these people who are those people, especially that you represent, that are going to be filling these jobs, that probably don't have jobs now. And you're going to say no to that, and because you don't know how to work a computer, and you're trying to protect the taxpayer, which is a debate in of itself, which you're going to lose because of this investment. This is what we're doing to the CEO of our Major League Baseball team, our elected officials. Shameful, embarrassing. No wonder people at the outside. Here we are, the majority of the people, a vast majority of the people, and the vast majority of people who took time out of their days to show up yesterday, took time off work to support this project. And you're that disrespectful to your constituents, and you got your Wostall blocking and saying horrible things about their constituents, middle school insults. It's an embarrassment. Timmy, do you recall when you guys were doing stadiums, were there things like this going around with your esteemed council persons?
None of this ever happened in the state of Texas for any of this. Like Houston, Dallas. This is unfathomable to me that all this is going on over there.
And listen, and if it ends up not getting done, and I don't think that will be the case, because listen, for those of you who want to, keep Tampa Bay or Tampa in the Stone Age, that time is well past. It's well past. You're not turning back the clock to get, your little diners on Dale Mabry. It's not, I'm sorry to say, goody goody's not coming back. There's a lot. We tried that. There's a lot of great things about our past, and unfortunately, they have to stay in the past because we're not that city anymore. We're not that region anymore, and you better keep up with it. If you want to fight it, you're only going to. You're not turning back the clock. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to take a break from Stadium Talk to celebrate an incredible achievement. Our good friend Brooke Bennett, 3-time gold medalist swimmer, recently completed a triathlon, a Ironman triathlon. So we're going to talk about that. Also, Chris Mack, new USF basketball coach, will be joining us at 11:30 as the ride continues over there on Fowler Avenue. The Bulls are going places, and we'll talk to Chris about what he has in store for this basketball program. We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. They are our first hour presenting sponsor. We love them. It's Memorial Day weekend, and of course, they're always on top of whatever's happening in the community and being the first ones to celebrate our first responders during May. And now Memorial Day weekend, they're going to have the cookout. So come on out, take a test drive, see these incredible cars like the GV70 that I just purchased, and see the great folks over there. Get a free meal. Stop by, get a nice barbecue meal at Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Back in 3 with Brooke Bennett. Stay with us. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back with more do you want. The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. I was chatting with them the other day, and I said, hey, the stadium's going through, and you know what that means? There's going to be $2.3 billion spent over on that stadium site, and a lot of those construction folks, you know where they're going to eat lunch and dinner? At Riveters, right next door. And he's like, yeah, they are. That's what this means, man. It's so much for the community, and that money goes right back into the waitresses, the bartenders, the cooks, the business, everything. That's how this works, direct impact. And then you get to go over to Riveters, enjoy their great food and drinks and service and staff. By the way, all weekend long, they'll be giving away merch for the Yankees series. So go up there, show up in your Rays gear if you want to wear Yankees because you're that. Go ahead. But show up at Riveters. They'll be giving away merch. It'll be a big, big weekend there to watch all kinds of sports. Best place to watch any game, Riveters, right there on Southdale Mabry, just south of the stadium.
I was dreaming about the hazy IPA last night. I'm not going to lie.
You were dreaming and drinking probably somewhere.
I was. That's a fact.
Yes, you were. That's a fact. All right, let's bring in one of the most incredible achievers that I've ever met in my life, and I've been lucky enough to know her for 30 years, back when she was swimming in pools out in Brandon. 3-time gold medalist Brooke Bennett, who is now a Ironman triathlete. Did you get the tattoo yet?
No tattoo yet. No. There's actually a couple of my teammates through Kennedy Law Racing who have done Ironmans before and have never gotten the tattoo. So we're going to plan a little girls night out for the tattoo. So I got a spot for it. It'll fit perfectly.
Yeah, I bet. So how you feeling? What is a week out
first
now?
Of all, I want, before we get into like all of what last Saturday was, because I was just listening to the conversation with Ken and following only you, JP, to really get the facts and the know-it-all.
Thank you.
I just want to say, from a CFY standpoint and from our standpoint on what we have seen with this new ownership, you're exactly right. We have to keep them here because this is an ownership that is doing right to the community. And we are already starting to build a partnership stronger and bigger than anything we were doing in the last 4 years since I've been with CFY. And one of the great things that we're doing is, as we grow our post-secondary scholarship program, this year we gave 56 scholarships to Pinellas County high school seniors. We're adding a total of 75 for next year. And we are going to split those 25 with the Phillies, 25 with the Blue Jays, and the Rays are coming on board, and they are going to host a part of our Breakfast at the Ballpark series, 25 of the students that receive scholarships for our 27 year. So
how about that?
We have partners, we have sponsors for those scholarships, but the Rays are stepping up for the community. So baseball or not, understand they are here to put money back into the community, and they are supporting our youth of Pinellas County and more. They want to do stuff in Tampa. CFY is going to help figure out that path for them because obviously we fund Pinellas County. But let me just add that tidbit to JP, to the knowledge that you have. They are here for the community, and that is by far the most important thing.
And listen, this is so important for you to say this because I want to take this out of just the baseball realm, because there's a lot of the negativity comes from people that just don't like sports billionaires, and what I try to understand, and the difference cannot be more stark. I'm trying not to, dump on the previous regime, turned over a new leaf, but this is what we've waited for. That's what I just told Ken. I knew these people were coming. I knew it because this community deserved it. And this community is full of too many good people that want to support everybody in a big way like this team can do. When you have a baseball team that's playing 81 games and bringing in, $300-400 million in revenue, that money's going to go somewhere. And if you have leadership within the ownership group that wants to put it back into the community instead of the previous regime that really didn't want to do that, this is what we need. This is what we need because it touches so much more than baseball. And I know the hearts of these men. I know them personally. And I know that this is what they're about. They could go spend their money and time doing other things, go to other cities where they would be much more welcome than we've made them feel, to be quite honest. But they're not. They're committed to Tampa Bay. No matter how rude our council people are or how rude our county commissioners are to them, they are still committed. And it means so much, not to just baseball fans, but to kids like this that probably don't even know who the Rays are.
And to those city and county commissioners, you got it. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the community. Look at the kids. Look at the underserved, the families that are struggling financially. And we're trying to give positive role models and positive influences to our kids today. And they need it more and more and more. And we can't, like you said, if we screw this up, we're never going to get a baseball team back here. You have done, I watched your clip from the other week, and if that wasn't the best mic drop I've ever heard on anything, I'm just like, yes, I know that guy. He's my friend. I believe it's going to get done. I really do. And I believe it's the right thing for the community. And, St. Pete's going to be good without them. The Trop is going to be good, and what they're going to do is going to turn around, but the Rays are here to support the community as a whole. And I think really for the first time, they're probably an organization that takes out the Bay, because we've always said we've been separated by the Tampa Bay, and Tampa is over here and Pinellas County is over here. They are probably the ones to change that.
That's a great point.
And I believe that, I'm not just the Lightning do an amazing job in the community. You and I both know that. The Bucks do too. However, they are very Tampa based and strong in Tampa, and there's not a lot of love, and there's not a ton of support over in Pinellas County. The Rays can change that. And I think with their leadership and what they're trying to do, no matter where the stadium is in Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay is all of that. Look, I've swam the length of the Tampa Bay. Come on, I know it connects. I've done some crazy things in my life, JP, but the Rays can make Pinellas County and Hillsborough County and the Bay kind of connect. And I think that's what we have to see, and we have to believe that it's going to be done right.
Unity in the community. Now, it's such a great point. And they're uniquely positioned to do it because they will have played in St. Pete for 30 years and then move over to Tampa. So they're uniquely positioned to have great influence in both sides and finally bring some unity to this community. And believe it or not, Brooke, this stadium complex, when it gets done, I was told by two very smart people who know how these things work, that brings in federal dollars that will pay for our light rail system to connect Pinellas County and Tampa. How about that? How about a train going down across 275 to downtown that you can jump on in Clearwater and come over to the baseball stadium or the football stadium or even downtown? I mean, this is what we should have. This is what,
to a hub. Let me Uber from there or whatever, or take a shuttle and go to a Lightning game. Would love it.
Don't have to park a car. Don't have to fill it up with gas. Don't have to go over the bridge.
A few more beers.
Okay, exactly.
I don't have to drive to get home.
Yeah, we could fix the whole damn thing.
There we go.
Absolutely. We fixed it. But this is what we should have. It's like, why don't we have this? And you know why? Yeah. Because we're separated. Our governments are separated. We don't even have a transportation network that works for the 7, area counties that make up Tampa Bay. That's dumb. It doesn't work for everybody. We cross county lines all the time. So anyway.
Well, I'm on board. And like I said, I see it. I'm seeing it from a different way. And that's why I wanted to bring that up this morning, just listening to Ken. And if that part is getting missed, and we hear a lot of people just talking about the cost of it or this and that, and it being all about sports, guys, it's so much more than just the baseball season. It's so much more that we're bringing and what they're bringing into the community, and what I see on my daily basis of working and getting partnerships and sponsorships so that we can fund the youth of Pinellas County.
Well, I'm going to send this clip to Ken so he sees it and he knows that his work is not, because they're
I got you.
They're very consciously paying attention to all this, and they're doing the work, and they need credit for it. Yeah. All right. So now let's make this about you now, because you always don't want to do that, but I'll do it. Okay. So you just decided one day, you know what? I haven't done enough in my life. With my 3 gold medals and all these distance swims you've done, I have to compete in an Ironman triathlon. Where did this come from?
So honestly, probably more than a decade ago, it was probably something I said to myself as like a bucket list item. And I don't have a sheet. I don't have it in my phone. I don't have like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. There's just something back years ago that I'm like, I'll do an Ironman. And over the last couple of years, I've been co-directing a multi-sport team called Kennedy Law Racing. Kind of based in the Clearwater area, but we have members across the country. We have a few international members. And, it's one of those things, if you're going to lead a team, you kind of have to lead by example. So I was like, at this point in time, I was like, I have to sign up. I have to do one. I have to train it. I have to be out on the course with my teammates. And last November, we had a teammate of ours do her 100th Ironman. Yeah, crazy enough. And her husband is somewhere in like the mid 80s. All right. So in November,
they don't have kids, do they?
their kids are grown. They're kind of getting this done before their kids have kids. Grandparents.
Good. Wow. Wow.
Ironman gave us relay slots for full Ironmans, which there are never relay slots. You can do relays in the 70.3, but not the full. So for Jill Walker, we got relay slots, and I was lucky enough to be on a relay in November, and I actually biked on the relay. I didn't swim. So I had been training all last year to bike. So I had that under my belt, work with one of the greatest bike shops in Pinellas County, the Bike Lab. I now have a custom painted mermaid bike with Olympic rings on it. Pretty special.
Nice.
And so afterwards, shortly after end of the year, Ironman announced some new races, and Jacksonville was the only new course offered in 26. So this was their inaugural race. And the way it worked in the calendar, it made sense for me. I was like, May is a good time of year. I don't have other things going on. I'm not trying to get through the summer. So yeah, I signed up for it and I started training for the darn thing.
Almost by accident, but not.
So yeah, it was an interesting, so I really, through the holidays, kind of focused on it, was getting my bearings down and kind of focusing and putting together a training schedule. But really from January up until last weekend, so I had about 5 months of very intense strategic Ironman training. So for me, it was a lot of time spent on the bike and a lot of time building my run. So my swimming kind of went down. I let it drop significantly because I just needed to maintain. I didn't need to do anything crazy. And so I accomplished two things on Saturday, because I had never run a full marathon. And in my training, my longest training run was 18 miles. And I did that about 3 weeks before the race. Mm-hmm. So on Saturday, not only did I complete the Ironman, I ran my first full marathon, 26.2 miles.
How was that last 6 miles? 8 miles.
The course was tough. Jacksonville is getting a lot of heat right now. From the bike course. It had a lot of delays. Apparently communication wasn't great. Yeah. Certain communities weren't happy because they were delayed, 2 to 3 hours on their Saturday commutes. So they're going to have to adjust, and they're going to have to make the city of Jacksonville happy. Yeah. It was hot. It was very, very hot. And it was a tough course, but I surprised myself on the run. I did way better than I thought I was going to do. That's certainly my weakest link. And I finished in 13 hours and 41 minutes.
Holy shit.
You have 17 hours. You have 17 hours to complete it. And I was middle of the pack, middle of my age group, middle in gender, middle of overall.
Doesn't matter. So, doesn't matter.
You know what? I'm like totally happy. And, JP, like I said, if I'm going to lead a multi-sport team, you lead by example.
Well, now you know what it takes.
And at the same time, I've always, in everything that I do, JP, I always want to inspire somebody. And it doesn't mean doing an Ironman. It doesn't mean being an Olympic champion. It means challenging yourself mentally or physically to do something. And I'm I extreme, right?
Yes,
Less than
that's your
1% of the world's population has completed an Ironman. 0.01% of the global population has won an Olympic gold medal. So for me, do I like having that little check mark? Of course.
Yeah.
I really do it. I really do it because if it inspires and encourages someone to do something that they've always thought they wanted to do and didn't know how to do it, it's mind over matter. I mean, it was challenging. It was hot. I was nauseous. I was tired. I was having muscles. I mean, I can give you a million things, but I enjoyed every minute of the 13 hours.
A very sick person.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
So what does it, you start with the run? How does it work?
Start with the swim. So Jacksonville was set up in the St. Johns River. Mm-hmm. So we actually started just on the river behind the stadium where the Jaguars play. So got to see that fully under construction, which is like a hot mess. Yeah. And we swam 2.4 miles down the river, got out of the river, and we had to run about 0.2 of a mile into transition. And you jump on your bike and you go bike 112 miles.
Jesus.
And then you come in from the bike and you get off the bike and you head out on your 26.2 mile run.
That's insane. And you've never run a marathon. So
no.
What goes through your mind in the running part? And it's hot when you're
so the bike is very technical. So much can go wrong. You're really drained from being on the bike because there's safety concerns, there's turns, there's staying on the course. When you get on the run, and the Jacksonville course was 3 loops. So you're seeing your teammates, your family. We had Kennedy Law Racing had 18 team members on the course on Saturday. Nice. So you're seeing your teammates. You're going through the aid stations, and the aid stations on the run, these volunteers and these groups that get together are so much fun. And they're like your life going through the aid station. And then we went through a couple of neighborhoods on the run, and the neighborhoods, they were having block parties. They were dancing in the streets. Awesome. They had their sprinklers like up on poles spraying in the middle of the street. They're standing there with their garden hoses asking you if you want to be sprayed off. And I'm like, I had to stop for a minute because my shoes started to get really squishy and I didn't want to end up with blisters. But at the same time, they're just spraying you off and cooling you off. So the run is fun. The triathlon and the Ironman community is really it to everyone out there. Everybody is encouraging you. I had teammates and friends of mine come up behind you, tap you. Are you good? Do you need anything? Chat for a minute. They continue to go on. Or I see a teammate on the other side of the road and you're like, go, good job. You're awesome.
Right.
So it's
a communal thing that keeps you going.
Encouragement. It's just a day. And it doesn't matter first or last. People are out on the course all day long.
Yeah. So what is the aftermath like?
It was very well worth it.
Yeah.
I
physically.
I never say never. Everybody wants to know if I'm going to do another one. I don't know. For right now, it's summertime. It's time to swim. It's time to get on a paddleboard, surf ski. I'm focusing on a national lifeguard competition in August down in Fort Lauderdale. So cool. I'm putting my running shoes aside. Mermaid tail is back. Get back into the things that I really love. Did I like training for it? I like training. I like the challenge of that. Everybody says, oh, wait till you get a runner's high. I have no idea what a runner's high is. None whatsoever. I don't know what you mean.
You're a mermaid. You wouldn't know. Your body doesn't do that. Yeah.
Triathletes are like swimming. They all want the swim canceled. Every triathlete wants you to cancel the swim. The weather, the conditions, whatever. They will bike and run all day long.
Yeah. You're unique in that way. Well,
yeah.
What was the aftermath like physically? Like, what do you go through? I hear just torturous tales.
So Sunday, Monday, I could barely walk. I mean, plan the trip to the bathroom 5 minutes before you really have to go, because the handicap rail in the bathroom is like your best friend.
It's a must. Yes.
But I have this week, what I have realized is there is something called central nervous system fatigue, and it is brutal. It's the brain fog, the fatigue. Sleeping was hard the first couple of days because I hurt so bad.
Yeah.
I went and swam this morning. So this morning was the first physical workout I've done. It's really been about rest, and I'm back into recovery. My gut, my stomach was just trashed from your consuming gels and fast processing chemical based carbohydrates just to keep your body going. This week has been really about just, you got to listen to your body, and I'm not 20 anymore. So I almost sound like I have a cold and I'm slightly like congested, but it's not a cold. It's not a sinus congestion. It's my central nervous system that just took a beating, and it's got to like regenerate and get healthy again. I've only felt this one other time, and that's when I did the swim from the Skyway Bridge into the Courtney Campbell. And that took me 10 hours, and this was 13. When you deplete your body and push your body beyond kind of its physical ability, your system just wants to shut down.
All right, last question, because this, I do try to train at times, and just getting older, it's so much harder to do what I used to do, and I can't do it. And it's that whole, how do you push it through your brain? I'm not competing with anybody. None of that's going on. How do you, when your body's saying, God damn, this hurts, how do you freaking do it? How do you push through?
I've had some really bad breakdowns in 8-mile swims and that. Saturday, my training was right, and I know I did everything. And so I always believe in the confidence of my training. When I did get to mile 13, I was running next to a girl that I know, and we jokingly laughed, this is too long. And I said, I don't know how to do another 13. And then 15 came, and then 18 came. And before I knew it, I was at 20. I had never run that far. And I actually ran the full last 6 miles without walking, because it was easier for me to jog. I averaged like 13:46 mile, right? So I'm jogging along, just trucking along, nice and steady, nothing fast. But it was easier for me to jog than walk.
Yeah.
But mentally, like I said, there's so many reasons why I do it. And I go through all those reasons. I my kids were there. I got to see them. My grandfather has always been a big, big influence on everything I did. So I always say, I've got his tattoo on my shoulder. This is for him. This is for you. I want to make you proud. And I think I'm a sucker for some pain.
You are.
I don't know. It's sick. It really,
just
really
wired
is.
Differently.
But it was an amazing accomplishment. I'm so glad that I did it.
Well, this is one of the reasons I want to have you on, is because you are such an inspiration to so many people. The Rays stuff was just a bonus, but I'm definitely going to send that to Ken, and we're going to put it out so people know this is about way more than baseball. So really appreciate you coming on. Before you go, let's tout CFY. What's going on? Let's promote a lot of things that are happening. You got your golf tournament coming up, right?
Yeah. So we are doing our second annual Top Golf Tournament, which for me as a non-golfer, I absolutely love. We did this last year. So our date is August 13th. We have spots available. So if anybody's interested in putting a team together, having a sponsorship, reach out to me. Our website is cfypinellas.org. My email address is my name at cfypinellas.com. So that'll be a fun summer thing for us. Like I said, we're going to be growing the scholarship program going into 27. 75 high school seniors for next year will be awarded a college scholarship, a vocational trade, or an SPC scholarship. I was actually this morning, went over to see our final school in the water safety program. Bel Air Elementary was wrapping up their 2 weeks. So I stopped in to see those kids. We provided 6 schools this school year with water safety lessons, kindergarten through 2nd grade. One of our newest partners in that program is Pinellas Park, which I was over there last week. And then we're supporting, over 52 programs in Pinellas County through athletic reimbursement. So again, like when I said, going back to when families financially can't allow their children to play youth football coming up or cheerleading,
which is a big deal these days.
The gas, the groceries, it's all expensive. CFY is there to offset those costs, to allow those families to let their children get on the field and play. And that's what's important.
It's one of the best charities in the Bay Area. Highly, highly recommend you guys jump on board. I'll put this stuff on my social media, August 13th. Top Golf.
You'll be there, JP. You had a team last year. We've got a slot in there for you again.
You know I will. We got to raise some money, so I want you guys to jump in and get a team right now and support these kids because they can't play sports without it, quite frankly. And thanks to the Rays for pitching in as well. Thanks, Brooke. Absolutely. You're the best.
Thanks, JP. Have a great Memorial Day
weekend. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
You did this to yourself.
That is unbelievable, JP. That is unbelievable here listening to that.
It's so inspirational. It's like, get off your ass and go do something.
You know what? While she was talking about her time, of the time that she did all of this in, I was pinning my time at about 14 hours, and part of that included an ambulance ride. It's probably the best I could hope for.
I've actually biked 120 miles and 125 in a day. That's the most I ever did. I used to do biking, and but that was I can't I could swim a little, but I can't run. I cannot run at all. Cannot run.
So in the 90s, we have this thing here in North Texas called the Hotter Than Hell 100, and it's a bike ride, but it's on a freeway. I mean, it's cordoned off, and they do it it's in August every year. And the temperature is always over 100 degrees, and you ride 50 miles one direction, 50 miles back in what's sort of West Texas in just the desert heat. And I rode that 5 years in a row in the 90s when I was a young man, and I could do stuff like that. And it was great, man. There was a little bit of a rush with that. I used to race mountain bikes in the 90s. I was a big biking guy, so it was a lot of fun. I kind of get it, but man, you get into your 40s like she is, and then you want more of it. I'm just like, no.
Oh, it's just the Iron. But first time I ever heard of an Iron Man, I'm like, you got to be like no human can do that.
What is this?
And then you, wow, and you see people who've done it in their life, and it's less than 0.1%. She is in a very exclusive category, to be sure. All right, listen, don't mean to ignore you guys. We'll take a quick break, so we'll come back and hit all the comments, and then Chris Mack's going to join us at 11:30, new USF basketball coach, so we'll chat with him. He's putting together a great recruiting class, transfer portal class, so we'll hear all about what's going on over there at Fowler Avenue. Great stuff going on. We want to thank the great folks at Italiano Insurance, one of our great sponsors for over 15 years. They have the best customer service in all of Tampa Bay. You don't have to call these 800 numbers and deal with all that BS. Just call them, 813-877-7799. They do all the work. You save all the money. It's pretty simple stuff. And make sure you have your business insurance. If you started a side hustle, you could get sued and lose all your personal wealth if you don't have business insurance. So make sure you have that. And also your flood insurance. Your mortgage may not demand that you have it, but you better have it, because even if you're not in a flood zone, as we have seen, you can get flooded. So make sure you have that as well. They'll answer all the questions. Once again, 813-877-7799. They have a Boca Grande office as well. Check it out on the website. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on Fanstream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the fantastic folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Memorial Day weekend is here. Always something big going on at the Gold and Diamond Source. Remember, folks, do not start your relationship with a fake diamond. It's a really bad idea. They only sell real diamonds at the Gold and Diamond Source. They have a tremendous selection over there. You can design something that you would like. Anything you need to do, bring in your old gold. That's always a great idea because gold has never been higher. They'll give you a big money for that. Anything with jewelry, it's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Alberton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com. All right, Timmy, you want to get to some of these fantastic commenters here today?
Let's talk to the Petermans today.
So many, and boy, y'all got
they're
lots
coming
of
with
love
it today.
From Ken Babby.
Yeah, they're coming with it today.
All right, Douglas Batista said, I received an email from Councilman Carlson after, sent a thank you for voting yes. Here is his email. He said, thank you. At least they now have more time and they can negotiate directly with city council. Yeah, so Carlson's concerned that he kind of feels like the city council has been kept out of the negotiations. And I'm not sure how that works, but obviously you heard Ken address that. So, again, this is the whole sausage. It's the sausage party, right? We're watching this thing play out in public, and it can be gross at times, but it doesn't have to be disrespectful. And as it kind of evolved into yesterday, thanks to Charlie Miranda. Not all the council folks are making buffoons of themselves, just some. But yeah, Carlson is a guy that, he did say something yesterday that was kind of weird. He's heavily educated. I believe he went to Harvard and did undergrad in economics, and said, I've studied under the best economics folks, but I never believe any of these economic studies for corporate projects like this. I'm like, really?
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because you only believe the ones that are done by academics who don't actually run companies. And he said, I don't believe in any corporate welfare whatsoever. No corporate subsidies whatsoever. Water Street would never have gotten done. Raymond James Stadium would never have gotten done. Like, you just don't believe it. Just everybody should pay for it. And he pointed to Midtown. Midtown is fantastic, and it's great that it's been so successful. Midtown has no chance of bringing in 10 million people to the area. None. 9 million, 8 million, whatever you want to make it. No chance of that. And so that's why they don't get a subsidy, because they're not creating that type of tourism flow. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. If you're, it's not, I hear mostly these are other developers and landowners that say this. Why don't I get a subsidy? Because you don't own the freaking Rays and you're not bringing the Rays to Tampa. I mean, it's pretty simple. Well, it's not fair. And you know what? Life ain't fair, bro. You know
what? You invest $8 to $10 billion in the community, and then we'll talk.
Well, some people wanted to be part of the Rays and they weren't allowed to, and they want to tank the deal. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. To bet your self-interest. No, that's not cool.
That's not fair.
So yeah, it's like, that's not fair for the rest of us. But really, it's like that. And here's the other thing. So you're against corporate subsidies. Okay, great. So you say, I'm not going to do that. And they go down the road to Orlando. What have you done? What have you done for your constituents? Well, we saved them all that money. No, you really didn't, because Orlando's now going to benefit from all the money that this venture is going to bring in, not just the baseball team, but the entertainment complex around the baseball team, which works. It's a dynamic that is now proven tremendously well. So why wouldn't you open your mind and say, I once believed this, but this is different. Back in the day, they just built stadiums, and it really wasn't as much of a public benefit as this is. Because, folks, what is the Braves draw, 2.5 million, maybe? And there's 10 million people going to the Battery. I mean, you can do the math there. They're not all going for baseball, right? But they're coming to the area that they previously did not. It used to be a grove of trees. Now it's pouring millions and tens of millions, billions of dollars back into the Cobb County economy. Same thing happens here. And you don't lose your baseball team. So you want to stick to your personal dogma of your philosophy that you only believe economic studies done by academicians, but nothing that is done by companies in the actual workforce that do these projects all the time, and say, and banks lend billions of dollars based on these studies, these projections. That sounds like real business to me. So this study tells me, I hired Scansco or ACOM or whoever, and I said, I want to build this $1 billion thing. Tell me what's the profit? What can we project in profit? So we do this investment. We're going to invest a lot of money. We want to make sure we're going to make it on the back end. Of course, you have to have a study done, and these people do this for a living, and billions of dollars are lent based on these projections. So they have to be somewhat accurate, don't you think? Unless people aren't going to give the billions of dollars. So you, as a council person, is just going to say, I don't believe in any of it. I don't believe in any of it. I don't think that's responsible. I just don't. in my opinion, but I just don't think that's responsible. I don't know. But they're going to have to work with the city and to get a lot of this done. And the $80 million is such a small part of this. And there was a lot of talk about the CIT. We shouldn't be using it. We promised the voters. You promised the voters that you would use it for public works, infrastructures, public buildings that help build the infrastructure of the county and the city. And if investing $80 million and $2.3 billion is coming back spent in your city, and it could bring long needed federal dollars for transportation issues like light rail, like it's never been more of a no-brainer. Don't get it. All right, back to you guys. You don't want to hear me. I want to hear you. Douglas Batista, so I look at the email he sent me is a positive sign that the door is not completely closed. Right. That is good. I think you're right. He hopefully he will change his mind. And if not, we got to get Maniscalco too. Yeah, I did see the email. Thank you. Appreciate that, Rick. Or Douglas. Rick says, JP on fire all over the place yesterday, starting with city council meeting flex to flexing on the Pewter Report. I did that. Keep moving, my man. You are our revolutionary leader. Oh, I like that. I like that. Not in a
You're a Pancho Villa.
Right.
You're a Pancho Villa.
Or a George Washington kind of way. Okay.
Santa Ana.
No, he was bad. I'm Daniel Boone.
What? He's not a revolutionary leader.
He was. He took. He revolutionized Texas from Mexico.
Well, he helped.
Yeah.
He's hiding in the basement.
He was at the Alamo, bro. Come on.
He was hiding in the basement at the Alamo.
Oh my God. Douglas said it, and I would suggest for all of the Petermans to send thank you emails to our 4 council members who voted yes. Yes, let's keep the positivity going.
Yep.
Michael LaRue says it was a good day, but a 4-3 vote that flipped at the last minute doesn't seem ideal. I can't believe the city is willing to play chicken with losing its status as a major league city. That's not growth. Yeah, I think in the end, the negativity that the public is going to heap upon the people that voted no is going to carry the day. I like Ken see far more positives than negatives. This continued the conversation, and two groups that want to get together and get it done. And in the end, it's only $80 million from the city that we're talking about. We can make that up if it ends up. And that's why these separate agreements are what they are. They can now negotiate this. And if it comes to the point where these counts, if they're all going to vote no on this $80 million, they'll figure out a way to get it done someplace else. Yeah. And that's a shame, really, because the city should be paying its part, because they're going to reap more benefits than anybody. And it's actually extremely selfish, in my opinion. Bonaventure says, happy Friday. Today would be a great day to put shovels in the ground for the Rays' new stadium in Tampa. Let's get it done. Raise up. Yeah, figuratively. That's what we're doing. You know, we should be celebrating this vote. I know it's like there was a lot of negativity, but it's a vocal minority. We kind of ignore the positivity. I mean, what Clendenin said knocked it out of the park. Vieira said it. Nia Young said great positive things. She said some negative things, but also understands that we're continuing the conversation. At least she understands that, and that's great. Conejitos says, I watched the meeting yesterday. It was painful to listen to the arguments against the new stadium. A freaking clown show. Yeah. And the people that argued against them, totally respect their opinion, but you know what I'm saying. Kurt Thorson, who gave a great speech. Thank you, Kurt. You did a great job. Said, thoughts on Babby's sharing of the WSJ article about best team in Major League Baseball lacking a forever home. I think it's true. I think we look like clowns. We look like clowns.
Playing for a city that doesn't want you.
Yeah, let's change that dynamic. We have the ability to do it as citizens here. Let's shout down the Charlie Mirandas. Let's shout down the Joshua Wostalls and vote them the hell out.
Hell, don't wait for that. Recall him now.
We should recall him.
Recall him now.
But him sharing that, I have no problem with that. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is what makes me so angry. These guys really, really want to get this done here. And we are not being very hospitable as we should, in my opinion. We should be throwing freaking bouquets of flowers at these guys for what they're doing and how they're comporting themselves. You heard Brooke Bennett. They're stepping up, and I hear this all across Tampa Bay. The Rays have been great. Rays are really listening. They're true. Listen to all your leaders. This is not the same old Rays. And these people really want to do something incredible for you. And we're pissing them off. And we look like buffoons. Let's be better. Let's grow. Let's be smarter. Let's be more progressive in our thinking and open-minded. Or we're going to be stuck in this no light rail having, nope, super bad traffic. You guys are complaining about the traffic. Well, where are we going to get federal dollars to fix it? This status quo ain't working. Every time one of you people complain, you just make my argument for me. Rick says, damn, did Tam already get kicked out of the golf tournament already? Did you really?
Headed out there as soon as the show's over.
KCA Eagle says if the Rays don't spank the Yanks this weekend, will be a disappointment. They are dreadful. The Yankees are not dreadful. Now, let's not set expectations at sweep or we're disappointed. I don't think we need to do that.
No, still a rival.
Alex Nunn says, I'm more confident the deal is dead than ever before. You're kind of negative on it, though, Alex. I got to be honest with you. You really do zero in on the negativity. Think of all the positive things that were said yesterday. And the bottom line is, like Ken said, look at what happened at the county. They get it. 5-2. They get it. And that's where the vast majority of the money's coming from. They get it. They're working through all the details. Both sides, the Rays still have room to give. The city and county still have room to give. You have three interested, very interested parties to get this done. There's going to be pushback. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the positivity. You know what would really suck? If we lost the vote. That would really suck. We didn't. So let's be a little bit more positive, Alex. Come on now. Get with me. Ken is the man. Crushed it right before the vote. Yeah, he did. That was a big save. That was a Raleigh Fingers special. Or I guess you'd say Brian Baker special.
There you go.
Yeah. JS813 asked, JP, what's next in the stadium process? When do we get the next round of votes? So I believe now they start going to the individual agreements. He pointed us to the county slide on the remaining issues, which I will research this weekend on my holiday weekend and get back to you on Tuesday. No show on Monday. You have the day off, Timmy. Alejandro, great job yesterday. Said, good morning, JP and Petermans. We got the vote done. It was scary at one point, but we got it regardless. Let's work on the deal because it will be finalized and it will work out great. Go Rays. Yeah, that part of the documentary, Tim, that's probably going to be episode 5 or 6, I think.
All right.
Where it comes down to the vote, and then Carlson's little speech was dramatic. And he was like, I can hear the building soaring music in the background. And then he said, but I'm going to vote yes today. And it's just like, oh, yes. I was like, yes. I was actually trying to get from here to my house to get doing Pewter Report yesterday, tight time frame. And I was listening to it in my car. And I think I honked my horn when he said yes. Sorry to that person in front of me.
Honk if you heard yes.
Yeah. Danny Boy says, Mr. Babby and JP, thank you for all the work you have done. It is a absolute honor to be able to lead you Petermans like this. JS813 says, sounds like some of the yes votes may switch to no. How concerned should we be? There's work to do. Now you got to work on, this is their issue. You negotiate it and you get them to a yes. That's what I'm saying. When you have three partners that want the same thing, you find ways to get it done. Once you get past these votes, that's why these votes are so important. It's non-binding, but it continues the conversation and say, now they can go, okay, what about the $80 million? We need a backstop for that. Done. Okay, what else are your concerns? Well, we shouldn't be spending CIT money. We're going to make sure that it's all infrastructure, roads, and sewers, and that's all the city money is spent on because that's what you guys wanted, right? Yeah, okay, good, done. Let's sign it. That's how we do it. Now we have the way to do that. So, yes, obstacles can be overcome when two groups want the same thing, and that's where we're at.
No way.
That's it. That's where we're at. What else we got? Kurt Thorson says Palermo cites brick and mortar 10,000 jobs when AI is displacing jobs. Miranda uses AI poorly. Right. Exactly. El Bushman says Ken the Iceman Babby. He's just so good. He's really smart.
I think we should just call him Ice Babby.
Ice Babby?
Like Ice Baby, the song?
I like that. Yeah.
Ice Babby.
Brett's pointing, yes, and the guy doesn't even know how to use a computer. Yeah, you're the city councilman of Tampa, and you admit in the public that you don't know how to use a computer.
That's who voted for him?
I don't know. He won by 150 votes, I heard. That's just embarrassing.
I demand a recount.
No.
Is it too late?
No, it's not. All right, I see our next guest is upon us, so instead of going to break, we will honor his presence as we should and respectful. As new USF coach Chris Mack joins us here to talk a little basketball. Coach, how are you? Can you hear me? Not yet?
JP, you haven't got Coach Mack joining you yet. He'll be
all right. Well, wait. It was a little fuzzy. I wasn't sure if that was you or not. So, yeah, clean off that screen, too, right? If you can, so we'll get a better picture.
Yeah, he's not
ready. All right, cool. Yet. Let's take a break, and we'll come back on the other side. All I saw was a silhouette, and I'm like, well, he must be joining us, but not yet. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll talk a little USF basketball. Very excited about the new chapter and what's going on here. They really, really got a great coach. So we'll do that when we come back. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, They are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source Diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Friday. We're covering a lot of different stuff, and now we're going to talk a little basketball, USF basketball. Exciting things happening over there on Fowler Avenue. And Chris Mack, the new USF head basketball coach, joins us here, coming from a very successful tenure at the College of Charleston. Before that, took Louisville to the #1 spot in the AP poll. Elite Eights at Xavier, a Final Eight as well, or Sweet 16 and an Elite Eight at Xavier. Very accomplished coach. He is Chris Mack, and now running the USF Bulls. Hello, Coach. How you doing?
I'm great, JP. How you doing?
We are fantastic. We're happy not to be talking about a stadium right now. So, but we'll talk about your football stadium, which is really cool, and that's going up. There's so many exciting things happening out there at South Florida. How you fitting in out there?
Great. I mean, I couldn't be any more excited and thrilled to be here. And you mentioned the stadium going up. I can walk right around Yuengling Center and see it every single day, and it feels like there's something new to it.
Yeah.
You can see the construction happening live right before your eyes.
Yeah, and your basketball arena, they've done a lot of great things to that as well. It's a tremendous venue to watch basketball. It's very intimate. I love that. And last year it was popping, and I know it's one of the things you want to continue here because basketball at South Florida is on a roll now with what Coach Hodgson was able to do and Amir before him. They showed that they can do big things and win conference championships. And I know you want to just keep that rolling, right?
For sure. I mean, that was a big part of taking the job is, the recent success. And obviously past success doesn't indicate, future performance, as your stock trader probably tells you, your financial guy probably tells you all the time. But, it sure shows that something was right and something's been going right. And, having Rob Higgins here, I think a true leader with a great vision for where college athletics has gone, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of, discussion on pro sports, and college is sort of going over that line, if you will, a little bit. And I don't know if there's a better CEO of athletics in the country to have more experience to draw from. So for sure, the recent success of those two coaches that you named are a big part of why I took the job, JP.
Yeah, I've known Rob for about 20 years. He's quite the dynamo. So tell me about his recruiting package that he put together for you. How did he approach you, and what was that like?
Well, these things happen so quickly, and a lot of times you don't have a chance to really process it. But for me, it started that we played at USF this past year when I was at the College of Charleston. Now, we played them over exam week, and that was a good thing because we didn't have to worry about as many students, from just sort of breathing down our neck, if you will. But loved the area. Felt like the arena's a terrific venue. The American Conference tournament's going to be played here the next 2 years. And I think the more and more that I did my investigation and background onto Rob, which I'm sure he was doing, when he was looking at all his different candidates, probably doing to me as well, I just became more and more fascinated and intrigued about his experience as a Tampa Bay Sports Commission director and just his vision for USF, the athletic program, not just men's basketball. But I think you always want to be in alignment with the person that you work for. And in Rob's case, he always loves to say work with. And that was certainly the case as the more and more homework I did on Rob and USF. So I'm really excited to be here.
Did he bring in my good friend Derek Brooks to put it over the top? And when he talks to you, people listen, right?
I'll tell you what, man, you get a phone call from a Hall of Famer like that, one of the best to ever do it. It's pretty special. He was in my wheelhouse when I was a kid and I love the NFL. And so it didn't take very long when I heard that voicemail and, coming from an area code that I didn't really recognize at the time, pretty exciting stuff for sure.
Yeah. USF's got a lot to sell now, don't they? I mean, you've been all around. You've coached at some top-notch programs. What do you see in this program that can take it to new heights?
Well, I think that it starts with obviously the city of Tampa Bay. It's the 11th biggest media market in the country, and who knows where this thing will eventually go. But I think when you have an on-campus football stadium, you have a school that's almost 50,000 students. Mm-hmm. I think that there are some teams, JP, some athletic programs that are really struggling financially, despite the conference that they're affiliated with or the conference that they're sitting in. That's not the case with USF, man. We're busting at the seams. Yeah. And I think as this realignment continues, you never know where that'll head to. But I know Rob and the people here at USF have positioned us to be in a great position. And that's truly exciting, man.
Yeah, I look at the program right now and I've covered it for 30 years now, and I look and I see, Brian Hartline was arguably one of the top candidates available, for new coaching hires. Everybody wanted him. I would put you in that category as well. Your success has been tremendous. I mean, you got a proven track record. You look at the coaches all across the board that they brought in and the ones that are here. And the campus and everything that's happening. I mean, it screams P4. It just screams it. I mean, you guys would be a great fit in any conference, and that's where this thing is heading. Is that you see this thing? You've been around.
I see a lot of similarities outside of the palm trees as Xavier in Cincinnati. I know it was a private Jesuit school, JP, but we were sort of in the MCC, which is now the Horizon, and then it became the Atlantic 10. And now Xavier sits in the Big East, and I think a big draw was the media market, that Cincinnati had. And, obviously Tampa Bay is that same market. It's a bigger market. It's much bigger city. You've got 3 professional organizations for crying out loud. And so, I think there's a lot to love if you're a Power 4 conference and you're looking to – because I really think the dominoes of teams going to different conferences is not finished.
That's right.
You want to position yourself, and Rob's done that, and the people here at USF have done that.
All right, so let's get into your players. You've had to replace the entire roster. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just – for those of us who've covered basketball for a long time, that's still startling. It's just like, wow. So you 1 year, totally redo the roster. You got a 15-man class. 4 of these kids were 4-star recruits coming out of high school, including players of the year in Kentucky – and Jake Feldhaus, and Michigan, 2 pretty good basketball states, and Sonny Wilson. So tell me a little bit about the guys you think will lead the way.
Yeah, I think that, first off, to the point about a whole new roster, we do not want to be in that position year in, year out. Right. But in 2026, when you take over a new program, you have a lot of the impact players for USF a year ago were seniors, and so Isaiah Nelson was leaving regardless, it's just and so we want to make sure that the experience that our players have, right, playing in front of a great crowd, winning games, developing players, we want to make sure that we're able to retain a good portion of our roster year in, year out. So I'm hopeful this is more of a one-off thing. Right. I certainly understand, and we all understand that college athletics is a lot different, and the transfer portal has made it extremely different. But I think we've got some really talented players. I think we have a little bit of everything. We have some high character dudes. Sonny Wilson, you mentioned. He's a point guard out of Toledo, University of Toledo, where he's been all MAC conference the last couple of years. He's also in the all academic honor roll. Nice. Could have gone to a lot of P4. He had his pick of the litter. And, fortunately, we've had some great relationships with people in and around Sonny, his AAU program, his high school coaching. And so we're tremendously excited. I think we'll have one of the best point guards in the American Conference this coming year. And so I do think that we have a lot of very talented guards. It was nice to get the kid Josh Lewis, who's a Tampa native. Yeah, he is coming off an injury with a torn patella tendon. But, man, when you got 15 guys and you got a 15-minute radio spot, I don't think it's the time to go over each and every one. But I will tell you this, JP. I'm really excited about our group. And you did mention Jake Feldhaus. Some of your listeners are going to remember Jake's dad, Darren Feldhaus, who was one of the unforgettables, who unfortunately was guarding Christian Leitner, was told, don't foul. So he just stood there with his hands straight up and watched that ball go in.
That was him?
In the game.
Interesting. But just in general, what is your style? Obviously you got a lot of good guards, like to shoot the three. Tell me a little bit about your philosophy.
Yeah, my philosophy starts on the defensive end. We want to be a team that's really stubborn defensively. Want to get out and run and try to get as many points as we can in transition. I do think in the half court, we're going to be able to space out the floor. 1 through 5, we've got guys that can shoot the ball literally at every position, JP. I'm not saying that we're going to shoot 50 3-point shots a game, but I'd like to think that the ones we shoot are going to go in and space the floor with some really, really good players' ability to get in the lane. And so I think the style is going to be a fun style to root for, to watch, to get to know our players and see their development throughout the year. It's going to be a little bit interesting here as you bring 15 new faces here June 1 and trying to get them all on the same page. But we want to be humming by the time we start the season in November.
Yeah, what's your philosophy in bringing those guys together? Like, how do you build the team chemistry with so many new guys?
It's interesting. I think there's a lot of different ways. You can do things outside of basketball, whether it's taking bowling, stuff like that. But I find that's, while it's good, it's also a little bit superficial, to be quite honest. Yeah. And so I love to put those guys into what I call shared suffering, right? Running, conditioning drills together where they could care less about you as a coach or, what Tampa Bay has to offer. They're looking at their buddy in the eyes at the end of that run, like, we got to get out of here. I'm freaking dying, man. So we want to push our guys. We want this group to grow really close together. And that's what the summers really aim to do. The NCAA gives us 8 weeks that are mandatory, for our players to be here on campus.
Nice.
And we're going to use those 8 weeks to get them bigger, stronger, connect with one another, and learn our system.
All right. So final question, how you fitting in Tampa? I mean, you got any new favorite restaurants already? What's been the highlight?
Well, I'll say this, JP, that when you have 20 official visits or so in about a 3-week period of time, you've eaten a lot of high-level restaurants. I feel like I gained about 15 pounds in the gut during that bad rush. It's been awesome. I don't want to single out any great restaurants because I'll tick off some other people, but I will say that we love the area. For me, I'm going to fit in even better tonight when my wife and my 5th grader get in town for the first time since I took the job.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
Yeah, he finished out school back in Charleston, and so he just got out. He actually is missing his last couple of days of class next week, but they're not doing anything because grades are already in. So
yeah,
he is in a 4-runner traveling from Charleston, South Carolina to Tampa Bay, and I look forward to seeing him tonight.
Well, I won't keep you then. One more question. I'm going to Charleston in a couple of weeks. Can you give me some restaurant recommendations for Charleston?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. It's a hidden gem. There's a lot of really, really good places. Everybody's going to say Halls. I would say if you like Tex-Mex, go to Matador. Go to Matador.
I'll tell you sent me when I get there. Absolutely. Hey, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. I look forward to meeting you in person, supporting your program tremendously. I love what Coach Hodgson did last year, and I know you're going to do a fantastic job. So excited that you're here. And we will be promoting all USF basketball. Whatever you got, you bring it, and we will promote it. We love it. Thank you.
Awesome, JP. I really appreciate you having me, man.
Anytime. Thank you, Coach.
Good weekend.
Have fun with the family. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to take you to dinner soon. We'll do that.
There we go.
We'll make it happen. Chris Mack right there, USF basketball. Man, this is a great place to live, man. Timmy, you this is it, man. Tampa Bay is where it's at. We got so many cool people here, and we bring more in. We lose one, we bring another one in, and because people want to be here. We can't be taking steps back. Yeah.
Oh, we got a super chat, JT. We got a brand new super chat. Jimmy J. Voyager.
What's up, brother? Saw him yesterday. He did a great job once again. Visually impaired. Uber's over. Sits in down the overflow for 2 hours waiting for his time to talk. I mean, this is the type of dedication we get from our Petermans. This is the type we're talking about. He says, as a taxpayer and a voter, I want to apologize to Mr. Babby for the way he was treated by Charlie and Joshua. Mr. Babby, I will fight beside you. Yes, we all will. Great point there, Jimmy. I mean, yeah, it's worth it, man. It's just worth it. These guys are, when I hear people speak of them, the billionaires, they can afford it. They're just trying to make money here. It's like, you have any idea what they're giving up to stay in Tampa Bay? I'll tell you, $1 billion. That's what they're
a lot of money.
A lot of headache that they could go to any other of these municipalities and they would roll out the red carpet. You wouldn't have councilmen tweeting out like a middle schoolers that you're a crying baby. You wouldn't have guys looking at you from the council. This is the best you could do? Is this your final offer? Well, it's not good enough. So disrespectful. Disrespectful.
Rick and I are on the same page during Chris Mack's interview, JP. Nothing says Tex-Mex like Charleston, South Carolina.
Listen, they can make it anywhere.
And look, I have all the respect
Charleston
for Chris
has some
Mack,
of the best restaurants.
But living in DFW, when someone mentions Tex-Mex on the East Coast, I kind of have to giggle a little bit.
That's okay. You can giggle. I'll send you pictures.
Like anytime someone says barbecue outside of the state of Texas, I'm just going to giggle a little bit and say, you know what? You have fun with that.
Because nobody else knows how to barbecue except if you live in the state.
Absolutely.
Limits of Texas. That makes sense. Play Blues Wolf says stupid is a requirement for politicians so their handlers do their thinking for them. Yeah. Danny Boy said, Arlington, Texas, I'm sure when the Cowboys and Rangers deals got done, never had issues that it seems we have here in Tampa.
Not even close. Not even close.
Jeff Stutler says, I was screaming at Charlie being such an ass to Mr. Babby. He needs to retire, be voted out. It's embarrassing. Just an embarrassment. You gotta understand, as a city council person, you represent the area. There are people looking at the Wall Street Journal is doing articles on why doesn't the best team in baseball have a forever home? And then we got clips of videos. This guy, I don't even know how to use a computer. I put Post-it notes up. But I got an AI thing here that says how bad the deal is.
Mark.
Oh. It's like, go into a public place with your family or your extended family, and you got that crazy uncle that makes everybody look stupid.
Drunk uncle
Charlie. He may not be drunk, but
drunkle.
Jen Montcall says, if I were the Rays owners and this deal gets done, I would invite Wostall and Miranda to the opening ceremonies that the news I would not invite. See,
Yeah,
that's why Ken's a better person than me. He always takes the high road. He'll invite him.
And you know what? I would hazard a guess Ken's going to say the same thing in private as he's saying on the air. That's just how Ken is.
I'll tell you a story about that, Timmy, because, I share a lot of my frustrations with him privately, and not once has he said, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He just doesn't even comment. I vent and he doesn't even comment.
Yeah.
He always takes the high road. I don't know how the hell he does it. I'm not capable.
Yeah.
I try. I do try to take the high road. But if you come at me, I get on the low ramp really quick.
Yeah. If you attack someone or something I love.
I'll get down in the mud. Alex Nunn says, all BS aside and tired of Timmy's jokes, but I'm effing disgusting how this whole thing is being treated.
Wait, what jokes are you tired of? What did I say?
Listen, I get it. I'm angry too, but this is not the time to just throw up your hands and say, F it, I'm done. We're too freaking close, Alex. Take a page out of Babby. He's got to deal with it more than anybody. If he can do it, we can do it. Stay positive, my man. Stay positive in your comments, because you go negative on social media, and you're one of our biggest, leaders in Peterman's. I'm sorry. I need more positivity out of you. All right. I know it's hard. Trust me. It's very hard. And I don't mind you venting on issues and people. That's what we're supposed to do. But when you say, oh, it's done, we're never going to get it. It's just, no. The only person that could do that is, what the hell's his name now? J Ted. Who always comments just Mr. Negative. As soon as he goes negative, something turns positive for the Rays. So that's good. He can dog it. Like I dog players and then they turn around.
Yeah.
Brett says AI told me today we need to build the stadium. It's just worried about the junkyards in Drew Park. What did he say about? Oh, there's nothing wrong with Drew Park. Thomas Casper says 7 Democrats on city council, only 2 are competent. Rays won the vote 4-3, says Nathan Elliott. Let's move on and let's talk about something else. Sorry, Nathan, that ain't going to happen today, Boyle. Sorry.
Kind of
the biggest story in history. I get you, but there's, I get it. Go watch my Pewter Report.
News story. It's the biggest news story right now. So yeah, it's going to be talked about.
Wall Street Journal article on the Rays, forwarded article on Rays Fan Stream Sports text line for you guys. Okay, let's put it up in the chat so people can check it out. And I tried to read it. It's behind a paywall. Can somebody help me out with that? Cut and paste. Thomas Casper, I would say there are competent Allen, Vieira, Young. Yeah, I have hopes for Guido. I really do. I think he can be turned. And again, if you're doing social media, have at Charlie. He's a no. And I don't think her attack. The people say that she could be flipped. I don't think so. I think her and Carlson are very much campaigning for the mayoral job here, but as a differentiation from Buckhorn. Stetler says, agreed. Do not invite Charlie or Wostall to groundbreaking on opening stadium. No, you take the high road. It's almost, you invite them and you look them in the eyes and say, yeah, this is what you said no to. It's almost some satisfaction there, I think. This is why the nation says we don't deserve the team. It's sad, says Casey Eagle. Yeah. But again, it's a minority. They don't represent all of Tampa Bay. Joshua Wostall and Charlie Miranda do not represent the majority of people here in Tampa in any coherent way. They are outliers. And I know Charlie's been here forever, but he's past his prime. Mm-hmm. Jersey, Florida says Charlie's so wound up that baseball doesn't work here. When they open the new stadium, they should wish him Merry Christmas if he's still alive. Yeah, that's what he says. I agree. No. JSN13 says all the politicians who vote no to the stadium deserve a no in November. Hold these folks accountable. Oh, we will. We will. I told him that yesterday, and I wasn't lying. I will do everything within my power. Now, Carlson gets a pass because he voted yes. He voted yes yesterday. We'll see where it goes from here, but we thank him. He kept it going. He's the all-star at this point. Guido had a chance to do it, and he voted no. But I think he can turn. Babby is a constituent of Wostall's. An elected official speaking about his own constituent like that is disgraceful. Absolutely. It's embarrassing. Brett B says, it's funny, Tampa is one of the cities that is big on home rule. They show these crazy people need serious state oversight. Not sure what that means. I don't know what home rule is. Sorry. Joseph Abreu says it's genuinely our fault that we put these idiots in their positions. You know what? That's a great point. And I never pay attention to city council races, Timmy. Never. I have no idea who these people
Nobody
are.
does.
Quite honest.
Yeah, nobody does.
Well, those days are over. I'm going to do my research from now on. Maybe I'll run for city council.
There you go.
Maybe I'll displace Charlie.
I want to be your press secretary.
I'd definitely run against Charlie. Well, it's a whole new deal in Tampa now. The whole redistricting, hard to say, is going to change things. Alejandro says, the thing that pissed me off about Charlie was the way he said the CIT tax wasn't created for sports teams and stadiums. I told every Rays fan in the room that's exactly what the CIT was made for. It was originally to build Raymond James Stadium. This whole narrative that the CIT is not for stadiums, I don't know where the hell it came from. Evidently, there was some discussion about it when the CIT got passed, but it wasn't in the wording of the bill.
Huh.
I mean, there's lots of discussions that happen on city and county, but if you don't vote for it, then it's meaningless. What'd you put in the language? And most of it's going to infrastructure anyway, which is exactly what it's meant for. This CIT, and the county attorney has already determined that you can spend it on it. Stop talking about it. Ridiculous. Joseph Abreu says, DeSantis just tweeted that if the stadium is completed, a walkway bridge over Ray J to Rays Park will happen by the FDOT. Yeah, of course. That's part of it. We're getting all this buy-in from the state. The state's putting in $150 million to rebuild Hillsborough College. We're getting traffic stuff done, pedestrian overways. It's a very real chance that we're going to get federal dollars to do the people mover from the airport to downtown and light rail. So many people are pitching in to make this happen, and there's a few loud voices that are trying to stop it for their own personal gain, in my opinion. We're winning. We're winning. Don't lose sight of that. Christopher Moore says, got to be honest, I was disappointed in our Tampa City Council leaders. I was hopeful for a 5-2 vote. It sounds like Bill Carlson is going to be a hard sell for the final agreement. Well, as the agreement is written now, but the agreement can change. That's what this is all about. Compromise, change. Christopher Moore says, I hope that Guido can turn around. He was going hard after the $80 million. It seemed really silly listening to these council members try to negotiate on the fly. Yeah. Maybe because they feel like they've been left out of the negotiations, I guess. But they're going to change that. They're going to address that. So there we go. Process is working. And the $80 million is a small part of it. But when he said, when you got engaged to my wife, I was committed to her. No, you weren't. When you got married to her, you were committed to her. That's why there are things called engagements. And that's what you are. You're engaged. And now you need to work out the rest of the details so you can get married. Like, the things that they bring up actually make our point for us. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, engagements had never been broken off? By the way, marriages get broken off too, bro, in case you haven't figured that part out.
What really is marriage?
Yeah, I deal with my divorce 20 years later. God help those people. Michael LaRue says the city of Tampa built an underused streetcar for $32 million back in 2002. It still costs about $5 million annually to operate because it was considered cool. Yeah, you get no payback from that, and we funded that. Wow.
Huh.
Michael LaRue said the city spends money on plenty of questionable projects, so putting $80 million towards a $10 billion development feels like a no-brainer to me. Yeah, Lynn Hertak was talking about stuff that they approved for the Yellow Jackets, West Tampa Little League, and it's like, this is going to be delayed. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're being disingenuous. This money, those projects are going to go forward, and you know it. And by the way, so we're really going to hold up a $10 billion development in your county for that. I know it's important, but if you have to choose one over the other, what's the greater good? That's your job. Come on now. Things change. Opportunities appear. And you as a council person are supposed to have the ability to change with it. That's why we put humans in these positions and not robots. Look at the opportunity before you. I understand these are also important things. Yes, they are. But there's a greater good out there. And just sometimes you got to make hard choices. And that the Yellow Jackets will still get their deal done. Come on now, you know that. Don't paint one against the other. It's a false choice, and you know it. Christopher Moore said, I really appreciate Mr. Babby's calm, cool head during the whole process. I'm sure he's exhausted by this whole process. When the deal is finalized, he should take some much-deserved time off. I don't think the dude's had a day off since he got here. In fact, I know he hasn't. What else we got here? Yeah, Charlie was using a calculator instead of a smartphone. He kept typing boobs upside down. Rick, the funny part about that is it's probably true. It's probably true. We got a super chat. $4.99 super chat. Where is that? Looking for, that's Jimmy's. There it is. Another Jimmy J. Voyager super chat says the Rays are also offering an upgrade local parks and provide baseball equipment to youth baseball teams. Yes, they are out in the community like you would not believe. There's so much that they're doing that has never been done before, behind the scenes and right in front of your face. These guys are, all stars. They've done such a great job. Nathan Comanci says, I'm tired of hearing about the potholes. Every damn city has potholes. Yeah, and they never get fixed.
Never get fixed.
How that works. We got to fix the potholes so we can't afford the Rays.
When they need more fire trucks.
Alan Scott says, Babby admitted the Rays need to do a better job of communicating with city council because apparently a lot of the details of the MOU weren't available until the last minute. That will help. Oh, that's true. But as I told Mr. Babby, the MOU is all over social media. If you wanted to find it, it wasn't hard to find. So if you're saying I didn't see the MOU because it wasn't in my email box, make a better effort. You're a council person. It's your job. It's the most important thing. You don't think you could have called somebody to say, hey, can I get a copy of the MOU? What are we even talking about here? Am I missing something? It's publicly available. And you could call, you can't call your staff and say, hey, can I get a copy of the MOU? The one that's plastered all over social media? Maybe there's another version that you're talking about. I don't know. But that seems a little weird to me. All right. Thank you guys for jumping in. I'm sorry if I did not get to your comments. There's literally hundreds of them each and every day. We've got over 1,140 people on this stream alone. The numbers have gone through the roof, and we thank you so, so much. We cannot do this without you and these great sponsors down here. Pitch Roofing, Riveters, Italiano Insurance, Golden Diamond, Kingmakers, Third Generation Plumbing.com, Cafe Paradiso, Genesis of Tampa, Bay Area Modern Medical Center, all of them. Thank you guys so very, very much. Please go visit our sponsors or just drop them a note. Go to their email address and say, hey, thank you for being a supporter of the JP Peterson Show. We can't do it without you. We are making a difference, guys. The Petermans are making a difference to the biggest, for me, story and project in the city, county's history. That's something. And you can hear Ken Babby's thanks for it. So that means a lot. It does. That's why we're here. That's why we're freaking here. It ain't for the money. That's why we're here. Timmy, thank you, buddy. Enjoy your weekend. No show on Monday. If something pops up, I'll be on social media. You know that. We will see you guys on Tuesday. Go Rays, kick some Yankee ass. Let's go.